top, don't let it go. X gon' give it to you, he gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you, he gon' give it to you. He never gave nothing to me. Every time I turn around, cats get their hands.
All right. Welcome to the Great Minds Drink Alike Show podcast. I am one of your three elegant hosts today. You can call me Gavin, the conversational wizard O'Gara. To my right, your left, is Anthony, Pigeon Legs Pass.
I did not approve of that.
I
did not approve of that.
Good old pigeon legs.
You know what? Just shut your mouth. Cover my damn legs up.
And to my left, your right, is Alejandro, Lil Lou.
The thumb bass.
But more,
Anthony
but
into
more.
a puppet.
Oh, he said he was gonna put strings in your ass, bitch.
Bring them, motherfucker. They already there.
All right,
That was appropriate.
and then to my right and your right, the one, the only, the shirtless, the shaded, Colin, the perverted, Likas, everybody. Round of applause.
I just want everybody to know on this bottle of Bushmills, it says you need to be an age minimum of 3 years to drink this. That's what it says. So I'm just going to pull it away before you can actually read it. That's what it says.
I just read it, and it said it.
You didn't have any Bushmills in your bottle when you were a 4-year-old, bro?
That's how I got put to sleep every night.
I mean,
Capri Sun and Bushmills, baby.
Little mixers. In
my
the
parents
bottle.
were extremely fiscally conservative. So, sometimes these things just don't happen.
You live the Bushmill life.
More like the Bush light
You're a
life.
Crown Point conservative?
Hell no. Do not call me that.
Take those words
For
back.
those of you that don't know, Colin Likas, follow him on Twitter, CLikusNG. Colin is a reporter for the
If you can't tell.
the News Gazette,
Yeah.
which is a
This is
newspaper.
This is how all reporters dress, believe it or not.
That's what I thought.
This is why Trump doesn't like reporters, because we're all naked. That's
Just
the
making it all
problem.
uncomfortable.
You might need a little more sunscreen there, bud.
Yeah, I might. I forgot to take my shirt off during the 4th, but, whatever. It happens.
It happens.
But Colin is a reporter for the News Gazette, which is a Champaign-Urbana circulated newspaper. He covers about 45 different high schools, sports,
Sure do.
Boys and girls.
Oh, yeah. And this time of year, it's got to be pretty busy, right?
Yeah, it's getting real busy real soon. We're going to be right into the first sport we've got is golf in 2 weeks, and we'll have football within a month. So it's going to be crazy.
So you go to every event?
Oh man, if I could go to every event, I wish I could. But considering how many schools we cover, that's
impossible.
It's just not possible.
Fair.
But we try.
You can't go to 45 meets a week?
If I was like Stretch Armstrong, I bet I could do at least 20.
Oh,
at least 20. I don't doubt my abilities. I have a lot of self-confidence, as you can tell by the fact I have my shirt off.
Now, how does stretchy arms help with that though? I'm really confused.
Oh,
Like,
I
how long do you
can
stretch?
write in multiple places at once. I can just be like, boom right here, boom right here, boom right there, boom right there, boom right up my ass. Let's go.
So multiple places.
Now, what's being played up the ass?
Okay.
I'm curious.
Hold on. For the record, if you had
Dumbass.
stretchy arms, you could do your own colonoscopy.
That's true.
Would you do
That would save me a lot of money once I get to 40.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's true.
So
Good luck.
Colin. What is I know you ran some high school track. What's your favorite sport to cover?
It's got to be cross country just because
Because you can't see the
what I
runners
did.
half the time.
It is it's an easy sport to cover. It really is.
Yeah. Why is that?
Just because
I'm just curious.
you
Why?
don't cover them running during the race. You just cover them at the finish line, really. Which, I mean, even though I ran cross country, I can understand it's just so difficult to follow somebody for an entire race. But,
Right.
You should do it.
Yeah, I mean, football's a
That'd be
blast
cool.
to cover just because, people get so pumped during high school football. A lot of the people around here, they stayed in their hometown, and it's really cool to see them come back and root on their team and things like that. And,
Go team. Go.
basketball in Illinois, it's like it is in Indiana. People are just nuts about it.
No,
So-
it's
not
not.
even
Don't
close.
you dare ever say that again.
Comparison's not even there.
I'm sorry, hold on. Hold on, I gotta tap into
Yeah.
something.
Just play it again, Garrett.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta tap into something. Butler has a better record in the Crossroads Classic than Purdue does. I just want to put that out there.
Hold on. I will concede that. And guess what? Both Indiana schools.
But that's not the point. Butler is better than Purdue.
Does
That's all.
Illinois have schools?
Yeah, they've got
What are
Illinois.
you covering?
How many national championships does Butler have in men's basketball?
At least 69.
Yeah.
60 now?
I think them and Purdue might be tied. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they're tied.
Butler came so close to 2 in consecutive years and just couldn't do it.
Well, your mother came pretty close to 2 last night as well, Colin.
Wow.
But
Wow.
he didn't do it.
Shooting
know what?
and going deep with it.
You know how
I mean,
upset
no,
I am?
not like that. No.
I'm upset,
Take a shot.
and it's time.
He's upset. He just pulled his drink. Oh, for those that can't see, Colin just took a nice little swig of Bushmills.
I do have a question.
It was a gentleman's swig.
It's apple juice for 3-year-olds.
Following up on whatever that comment was about. What's your least favorite sport to cover?
Oh.
I feel like we tried to bring this up earlier, but you just like didn't want to. But a couple shots in, maybe you just will let it all out. Come on, let's hear it.
Yeah, that bottle
Okay,
was
I don't
getting
have a
pretty low.
least favorite sport to cover, but
Yeah, you do.
there are
What is
there
that?
are playoffs where it's really just long. For example,
That's what she
track and field lasts 3 days. Track and field lasts 3 days, and you're roughly 10 hours a day for a reporter.
That's too long. I'm telling
Wrestling is 4 days and roughly 10 hours a day for a reporter.
It's too long.
I would not say those are my least favorite sports,
I would.
but they are the hardest sports to cover
I'm telling you.
once it gets serious.
Yeah, but one of those is a good sport, and the other is just terrible.
Oh no!
Here we go.
Which
Oh,
sport
snap.
are we talking about? Come on.
Well, one you just run, and the other you do something.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
You make sexual
Oh.
comment. Anyway.
oh!
You are just.
I'm
such a
hurt.
wrestler.
I'm wounded.
Obviously,
Man down.
I can't run, okay?
He can't
I
run.
can't run.
Look at this man. He's not a runner.
I
That
can't
guy.
run.
You know,
I
to be
can't
fair,
play basketball.
wrestlers
but I
have to
will
run.
show
That's
you.
like the
You
punishment.
suck.
Oh Jesus! I don't suck. You suck. Fuck you.
Fuck you, computer guy.
No, but I'm telling you, as a reporter, you should have a little Yelp situation where you could review all these different events. Because I'm telling you, if you could say, look, this sucks. This isn't fun. It's 10 hours long. There's no beer anywhere. The event just wasn't even that fun. All right, 3 stars all day. You know, they're gonna start to
Popcorn
adjust
wasn't
their
great.
attitude.
So
The
do you ever
popcorn
get
wasn't great.
stopped by
You
like
suck.
security when you go to these events or anything? I mean, just
You assume there's security at a high school event, which is a gross misinterpretation
I'm
of
just saying,
the.
shirtless sunglass mustache guy comes to a high school event. I'm a little worried.
I'm only wearing the sunglasses because I don't want people to see my true identity.
He's a superhero.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Alex once gave me and Garrett some tours of the high schools that he worked, some of the high schools he works at, and I mean, at one there was a cat doing his laundry out on the front. I mean, at another one, I felt like we passed.
Who was giving you tours?
Me.
Oh, you were. Oh, I was like,
No,
wait,
I
what?
Miss-
I thought you
did
said Alex.
That's what I was
Mr.
like,
Likas.
when did I give you
This
a tour?
this was before I started doing shots of Evan Williams, but not that long before.
So there was Cass doing laundry. What else did you see? What was the worst thing you saw at these schools? That would be bad. That would be
Actually,
terrible.
brief story. The worst thing that I saw there was looking at the grass below Colin's second-story balcony because
Damn,
he
your lawn ain't
locked
kept
he
up?
locked Garrett and I on the balcony, and I had to jump
Oh,
off the
excuse
second-story
me.
balcony to get us locked, like
That's
unlocked.
bullshit. I did not lock you anywhere. It was
No,
a total.
you locked us out, and then you pussed out jumping in the bush.
Wait,
Because
what?
you told me
jumped in the-
jumping in the bush would be
Why won't
worse
you
than
bush
jumping in the
dive?
ground.
Dude, would you rather jump straight onto some grass from a second story, or would you rather jump into a bush?
in the grass.
I'd rather not lock anybody out and be a good host.
I feel like I don't want to jump in that bush. You can't.
Alex,
tell what's
fuck
gonna
off.
Not only that, but directly. Hold on. As far as hosts go, Colin, I really do love you, but I gotta say it. I mean, you know,
You were a
he-
terrible, god awful host.
he-
is what he's
right,
saying.
right after that, or
I give them
You're a
both
shitty
blankets.
human
May-
being.
right after that, or maybe right before, he took us to his hot tub, which was drained of water. And then,
Probably because somebody shit in it.
and then right after that,
You have
he-
a hot tub?
Yeah, we
No
did.
water
We have a
there.
full
They can't
lineup.
no
afford
water.
water.
And then
I
right
like
after
it.
that, he ordered us a small pizza. That was
A personal pan pizza.
that was
before.
about half
Garrett,
the size
shut
of
the
a
fuck
Totino.
up.
You could have just gotten pizza rolls. It'd have been fun.
Oh,
That'd have been a good
yes.
size.
Man, he could have gave us each a half a hot pocket. It'd have been better.
You know what? I'm not here for this abuse. I'm just gonna,
Every time he gets upset,
That's
he's like,
right.
"That
Just
whole
throw it in the
Colin's
Whoa,
just chugging the
whoa,
Bushmills.
whoa.
Oh, baby.
That's what GNDA does to you. It gets you turned up.
Great minds do drink alike.
We all
Unless you're
drink alike.
Colin, then you drink harder.
Yeah, he's a harder drinker for sure.
He's got to catch up to our minds.
I'm glad he's here, though.
This is
Right.
how I picture Colin in his interviews. He's just chugging some Bush Light, running out on the field with a mic that's not even plugged in, no shirt on, just, what do you think of the game? Yeah! He runs away.
Oh, yeah.
holy shit, how was the game, coach?
What did you
Great.
think? It was great. What are you doing? You're
Colin,
naked.
Colin being shirtless and skinny as fuck right now and wearing those shades. I mean, I feel like he might be the real Slim Shady.
Dude, and you should stand up.
I
He is
do want-
standing up.
I am standing up. I do want to, since you mentioned the
No,
football
you're not.
stuff,
Hold on.
I should mention this is a really interesting story. So, what we're doing right now, we're trying to find somebody who graduated from each of our high schools who can talk about like what high school football meant to them, basically. So, one of our high schools, we found a guy who graduated in 1945. So he's 91 years old right now. So
This is
I
almost my, like, that's when my grandpa was born.
yeah,
It was like
right.
Why are you
1943.
asking the dude, like, how was football? They dropped the bomb that year, didn't they?
Did they,
It's
Well,
there's
that's
more
the
important
interesting
things
thing.
going on.
like,
That's the interesting thing. He actually,
inappropriate.
here's the story. He graduated from his high school here. He actually got a scholarship to play at the University of Illinois. So he went over there. And within, I don't know, a month of being there, he got drafted into he ended up in the Navy. He went and served in the Navy. And the war, World War II, ended roughly 2 months after he started serving. What he tells all his friends is, so this guy's from
Two months ain't bad.
Right.
this guy's from a city called Westville. What he tells all his friends is, once the kid from Westville enlisted, all the Japs ran away. That's what he tells all his friends.
So he's carrying that with him forever now.
I mean, he thinks
91 years old,
he
he's telling that story to this day. Like, that is a story.
Yep,
that
They heard high school linebacker, yada, yada, yada.
What was his name?
coming to
What was his
Japan.
name?
Well, I doubt he's gonna watch this. His name is, well, he goes by Burr. His name is Anthony, actually, but he goes by Burr. That's his name.
His name's Anthony.
I've never met a
Yep.
badass Anthony in my life.
I've never met. Wait, you better take that back. Don't
Yep,
make that
and
one something. What was it?
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
He thinks he's the only one from his class left alive anymore. So I mean, this is like a
Sounds good
serious
to me.
hardcore dude.
Anthony Burr.
Anthony Burr and Anthony
Round of
Bass.
applause for Anthony Burr.
Yes.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
He's a,
guy.
he's a good guy. Real good guy.
And I find
Anyway, that's my story.
the guy those
sticking
the
to
older
it.
generation have a lot like interesting stories like that to tell.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like it's really interesting like what they've been through. They've been through some stuff. 91, you've been through it all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. We're the millennial
Yeah.
pussy age. But,
We're like, what school should we go to? I did all these visits, and these guys like, dude, I just hope I don't get drafted. Like, shit's
like I'm gonna
Yeah,
enlist in
right.
the Air Force so I don't get drafted.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
what their options were.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
National Guard.
I
Air
made a
Force,
joke
yeah.
though earlier. Shout out to all the veterans. If you served at all, war or not,
No, absolutely. Mad respect.
I'm a puss. I didn't serve at all, so shout out to them. But
I don't know that it's so much you're a puss
It's
as
just
you're
not-
not being drafted. There's not a draft going on, so
Right. It's just not. If there was,
Not
you
yet.
know, like,
there's stuff going
Yeah.
on with Iran. You never know. But
it's a topic for a different day.
we got a hell of a beer here today. As we've told you, Colin is
Yeah, we haven't even got to it.
sipping on some Bushmills.
I've got the Bushmills.
He's drinking
Wait,
that.
hold on. So the Bushmills is the first thing that came in a shot. And necessarily that's not a beer, but we're here with Colin. What did you think of the Bushmills?
I would rate it a 7 out of 10. It goes down pretty smooth. I mean, I don't drink a lot of stuff just straight up,
Right.
but this Bushmills, I would drink straight up all the time.
Hold
I
on,
think
hold
it's
on. I must know. For,
Got a problem.
Bless you.
Whiskey, I drink a lot of whiskey straight. I mean, admittedly, it's a lot of cheap
Do you
scotch.
really?
It's some good
It's a
shit.
lot of cheap scotch.
I
I mean,
don't do
I'll
a lot
drink
of
a
whiskey
good
straight.
bourbon or a cheap scotch all day sipping. Bushmills, that's a topic for another day. But so Bushmills is a 7 as far as drinking straight whiskey. What would a 10 be for drinking straight whiskey?
That's a good question. I don't think I've had enough whiskey to possibly answer
Give a
that
10
because
on that. Yeah.
the thing is
Is there a
like,
straight alcohol that you have in mind that would be a 10 to you on the scale of 1 to 10?
there's a straight alcohol I have in mind that would be a 0. That would be Captain,
Evelyn's.
which I love actually. But if you drink
Straight.
Captain straight, you're a fucking psycho, or you're drunk as shit,
Right.
which
No,
I
it's
have
not
been
right.
before, and I've drank Captain straight before,
We've
but I
all
was
done
always
it
drunk
once.
as shit.
Right, you've been on that
It's-
different level. It's like 4 in the morning. You should be going to bed. You're like, give me some Captain Straight.
Oh yeah,
I
Cap-
don't want to
Captain
remember
tastes
the
like-
night.
Captain tastes like what paint thinner smells like. It's not it's not good. But as far as a 10 goes, I don't know if I'm the right authority for that.
What would you say? I mean, if it sounds like you have something in mind on a 10. Do you have a 10?
For a 10?
You said you drink it straight
As
all the
far
time.
as a whiskey goes?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, dude, we had for your wedding,
Oh, yeah.
we got you that Johnny Walker Blue. I mean, that might be the closest
Ooh,
thing to a
That's
10.
really good.
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
mean, that was a $220
It
bottle of
went down
scotch.
pretty
that
dude.
better be fucking
It went
good.
down smooth.
Um,
I'd give that a 10.
still, though, I mean, that would be probably my 10 on a scale of just straight alcohol. But honestly, you know, if just on a regular scale, 1 to 10, if I had to rate just straight alcohol, I can't think of anything that even comes close to a 10. To be frank, like,
What would you rate this beer?
well, first of all, that's a good segue. We should probably introduce this bad boy. So we are drinking the Space Station Middle Finger
Round of
by
applause.
3 Floyd's Brewing. Middle finger to our boys in orbit right now.
Thank you.
Oh my.
Oh my,
Oh,
yes.
they're giving us the middle
Oh
finger.
my!
Gravity hating motherfuckers.
We,
Okay. Great segue to whatever that was.
Hate gravity. Fuck.
the spaceship on the front of the bottle looks like.
The artwork on this bottle.
You know what it actually?
Top-notch.
Hold on. You know what it really
we get a
looks
good
like?
shot?
What's the movie with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris
Spaceship
Pratt?
with the middle finger. Oh yeah, Interstellar. No, that's
Interstellar is a much better movie.
great film.
Words. Science.
I'm trying to think of it. Anyway, it looks a lot like the space station on the
Cinderella.
movie.
What do we got, producer?
Producer, what is it?
It's called Passengers.
Yes.
Passengers. Yes,
Yes.
it looks like the spaceship on Passengers. Anthony just showed you the bottle for those that are watching.
It's amazing.
It looks like an inflatable version of that.
And it's a
With the
bit of a
middle finger.
douchebag.
Space Station Middle Finger. It's only 6% ABV, and it's not citrusy though. I complained about that last week. All the brews we've been having are citrusy. It's very hoppy. You know, it's a classic IPA. It actually has a stronger taste than it actually is. Like to me, it tastes stronger than a 6%. But it's pretty straight up. I mean, there's not a lot of hidden flavors in it. It's just a good straight up IPA.
It's a good
to
beer.
to be honest, for the cost, I don't.
What
I
is
don't-
the cost of a
I don't.
six-pack?
I don't know that it's that great. The liquor store I went to, it was about $12 per 6-pack. So you're talking.
That's a good
$2
price.
beer, and I don't know that it's worth that. I'm gonna have to give it a 6.9.
Nice.
All the 6.9s out here. Raise a glass up. No, but I kind of agree. I kind of agree. There's nothing. Oh, there we go. If you can't hear me, I'm sorry. I just, I'm so new to the microphone.
Fancy.
I would agree with Gavin on that end that there's nothing crazy special about it. It goes down very smooth. It's very good. I love the artwork. That's why my vote is gonna go to about a 7.5. I think it's good. It goes down smooth. Nothing crazy special about it other than like I do like it. It's not like something. I don't know. There's no real. I don't know what the taste.
It doesn't
is.
have a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
It's
like,
just a good beer.
like a lot of
It's not gonna blow
small,
your mind.
not necessarily microbrewery beers, but a lot of smaller breweries. Not your Miller Coors and your Bud Lights. Like a lot of just IPAs. They got kind of a niche flavor.
Right.
Like, some are like Christmassy and cinnamony or something, gingerbready, and then you got a bunch of citrusy ones. And like I saw Three Floyds make some sort of strawberry brew, I think.
Strawberry.
Anyway, long story short, this one doesn't have a lot of fluff. I kind of like that about it.
Yeah, there's
like
something
it's got
nice
that
about
IPA taste.
But I
it
will
doesn't
say
have
on
the
that
fluff.
note,
It's beer.
if anybody out there has a beer
But
that
it's
they
a
want
good
to
IPA.
recommend, that when we drink it just gives us a little bit of a sting or some sort of like bite to it.
We're looking to give away some damn stickers and some T-shirts, damn it.
stickers and T-shirts, baby.
Whose idea was that?
Stickers. Whose idea is what?
That thing that Gavin just threw down.
You see
What was
that?
that?
You haven't got your sticker yet?
Oh, I got my sticker.
You got your sticker, baby? Yeah, this boy is impressive.
Colin, send me your address. I'll give you a few more stickers.
We got
It's
stickers.
it's 6969 Intercourse
Line.
Don't read it on here.
It's 6969 Buttwood Avenue.
Poopy Balls Avenue.
Good old shitball.
Balls and everything.
Well,
Anyway,
that's that. Now that we've given the beer, you gave your rating.
7.5,
Did you
yeah.
ever-
I'll give it a 7-8.
7 point.
That's enough of you.
Take the soundboard away.
Alex is done with Garrett. Just
I
absolutely.
was gonna give it like maybe like an 8.5, and then Gavin goes $2 a beer, and it's like, fuck, 7-8.
7-8.
7-8. So,
Okay.
all right, Three Floyds. Shout out. I like Three Floyds. Actually, Alpha King. one of my
Logo's a
favorite
10
beers. Alpha King. That'll have to be our podcast beer at some point. But I'd had it so many times, I wanted to try something different. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So now that we've kind of warmed you guys up to Colin, we've introduced what we're drinking. Why don't we get into
Hey,
some
Colin.
current events, Garrett?
Oh, there we
What's
go.
up? Current events.
Go ahead.
Donald Trump has not been impeached yet. Holy shit.
Fucking impressive.
Good thing I took it from Alex. Anyway, since
Here,
Colin,
Alex, you want to say something? I'm just kidding.
since Colin is
Typical media.
a sports reporter, I
I am.
decided to start this off with some sports.
Nice.
And I don't know if you guys pay attention to football or not, but running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Le'Veon Bell, just
Yes.
turned down a monstrous $70 million deal from the Steelers.
About 15,
Why?
15 million a year, right?
About 14, 15
That's
million
Turned down
dollars a
for
season.
So what was the turn down for?
Yeah, that's incredible. Actually,
He wanted
okay,
more.
So,
He wanted more.
He did. A lot of people view him as one
Yeah.
of the best or the best running backs in the league.
What do you think he's worth?
oh,
a
he
year?
is. He
He's
is.
not,
Yeah,
he's not the best.
He's
We
really
could have-
good.
we
I
could
said
have
one.
it.
Who is the best then? Who
Todd
is the
Gurley.
best?
Todd Gurley won me my fantasy league last year.
If you say David Johnson's the best, I mean, before he blew out his knee, then fine. But who is the best beyond him?
I really don't think David
Joseph
Johnson's the
Adai.
best. I truly do. Hold on. I truly
No.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we won a Super Bowl with Joseph Adai for the record, but Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, you were facing the fucking Bears. That's like facing the fucking.
To
triple-
me, the top
Isn't that your team though?
to me, top three. All three have great offensive lines, very notably. I feel like a running back is something in the current league that cannot be successful absent a good offensive line, which is true of most of the offense. But I think a good quarterback, a good receiver can be a little bit more independent of the offensive line than the running back. But anyway, I think my top three would probably go Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay, Todd Gurley. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
It's a good list.
Todd Gurley's good.
But the point of this story
Le'Veon
right here
Bell,
is he
though, I
turned down
mean-
$15 million a year, $70 million
That would
contract.
have still been the biggest contract for a running back.
Holy,
I mean,
It wasn't enough.
holy.
Pittsburgh has to pay him though. Like I know Ben
It
Roethlisberger
doesn't
in the
matter
past
that
has
much, though.
turned
They can
down.
be okay with a mediocre running back.
They can't
Well-
afford that.
well,
They
sure,
have all of Ben's
but-
lawsuits to cover. They can't afford $15 million a year on a running back.
Well, Ben has
Like, hold on.
turned down more money, which probably relates to the lawsuit thing, but whatever. I mean, it's Le'Veon Bell he's not. I guess he's not once in a lifetime, but he's pretty close. I mean, he's an otherworldly
That
running
is an
back.
impressive statement, dude. Not once in a lifetime, but pretty close, dude. I like that. That must mean he's really
so to
freaking
you, it
good.
sounds like to you, hands down, Le'Veon Bell is the best running back in the NFL.
I draft him first in my fantasy draft, no problem.
Every year,
I mean,
all day, every day. Let's go.
Like so that
So how much do you think he's worth?
At least 350.
Like $3.50.
Oh shit!
But
Holy smokes!
what I wanted to say was, since Gavin thought Todd Gurley was the best, I was curious to see what his contract was looking like. And
Well,
it was
he's still on his draft contract, but anyway.
but what it probably would look like.
What would it probably
was
look like?
a $60 million contract.
Okay.
Probably.
Dang.
Well, it said Todd Gurley's $60 million contract is a special deal for a special kind of player.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a contract.
And Gurley is a special player.
Well, Gurley, if you're out there, man, you want to come on our podcast? We'd
It's,
love to ask you
uh,
some questions about that.
Gosh,
No,
it's
since you're so
escaping me.
special.
Since you're so
Todd who?
What's his name from Penn State?
Never heard of him.
Is he going to be a special, Colin? In your professional sports opinion?
What, Jerry Sandusky?
Oh, he's special.
Yeah, he could probably do about as good with a shirt off as you can. But
Stick it to him.
Good God.
no, what's his name? What the heck's the kid's name? What's his name?
What's his name?
Colin, quit
I
laughing.
don't know what his name.
Garrett, do you know it?
I've just
The
been
running back for
compared to
Pistons. He
to
went to the
Jerry
Giants.
Sandusky, and my life is over. So I'm out.
It's game over. Take a shot. Take a drink.
He quits, yeah. Bushmills it up, bro.
Drink.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I need to top off. I'm empty.
Oh, there's a cap on this. Who did
I'm
this?
probably totally
Was it
pronouncing
me?
this wrong, but it's Saquon Barkley.
Yep, Saquon.
Oh, there you go. Saquon Barkley. Yep.
I think he has potential to be, a hell of a player. I'm glad the Colts didn't draft him, but he's got potential.
Well, he'll be better than Christian Hackenberg at quarterback. For sure.
No,
That's not saying.
I don't. You're gonna have to tell us who is that? Like U of I's quarterback or something?
Oh, that was Penn State's quarterback.
Just took my
I
beer,
couldn't
didn't
even
find
remember
it.
Saquon's name.
I don't follow
You don't
college
remember
football
Christian
enough to know what he
Hackman?
is.
All right. He could hack a bird for all I care.
Anthony, you ever open a beer, man?
You better shut your damn mouth. I asked you to open it. Gavin takes it and slips it away from me.
Wait, why'd you ask me to open it? 'Cause you
Anthony,
can't
why are
see
you
it.
so mad, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Shirtless son of a bitch.
He's a douche and bag. All right, pass it back to Garrett. Garrett, what else do we got on the docket?
I have
Why'd you
a
ask, Gavin?
What'd you say?
Hold on. Colin's got something.
question. So,
We have an answer.
Who's it for?
all three of you play Overwatch, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, Ultimate Mayhem is back this week, which means double health for everybody, so and so. Shit's crazy. So, is Moira an overpowered character?
Ooh.
Because holy shit, she has 2 fucking orbs that sit around for 10 seconds apiece and drain the shit out of your health, and it pisses me off.
All right.
I just
would
want
like
to know what you guys think.
I would like to preface this with Alex and I both like to play Moira a lot.
I know you
And-
both do. That's
and
why.
They're awesome.
And we're both, I would admit, we're both very
Hanzo
You're both
all
really.
day.
You're both solid. playing.
Hanzo
Absolutely.
all day.
good.
Hanzo
Shut
baby.
your damn mouth with your quick stroke. ass.
Hanzo doesn't have healing, so.
Alex, you go first.
At lower ranks, Moira will whoop your ass because you guys don't heal enough. That's it.
That's fair. That's
It's
fair.
easy to get 5 golds with Moira. I know this is nerdy.
She's
We
a
went from
stat
sports
whore.
video. Oh yeah,
We cover everything.
You can easily go 5 golds with Moira. I played with Nick Roberts the other night and multiple games, just 5 golds. Play the game like it was just an Alex Luzon show or Lulu09.
Check him out.
Check him out on Xbox.
Check them out.
Twitch.
But yeah,
For the
Never-
record, I don't know if we've ever formally announced, but the typical nicknames that we use on this show are actually our Xbox names.
Yeah.
Nerds.
We got
What? Sire A-Train.
the main.
What?
Or yeah, your
Sire
A-Train.
A-Train, but my account is the main A-Train, but online it goes by Sire.
But you actually don't have an Xbox. And then we got Lil Lou 09.
Xbox
And
and,
then
PC.
I am Spaceman Scooter. But with a K.
Scooter?
Spaceman Scooter with a K.
And then we
cover
got
a
good
lot
old
of
Bush
different
Flowers
topics
here.
if you can't tell.
Bush Flowers
Moira,
27.
Moira
Ew.
is. I think I'm pretty damn good with Moira. I think Moira is kind of overpowered, to be honest. I think that you could switch from medium healing to medium damage really fast and like seamlessly if you're a pretty good player. especially in Mayhem, dude. The 2 orbs flying around. Yeah, I think Moira is a bit overpowered.
Now, well, I, mean,
I love it
can-
though.
you
I
can-
love it, but I think that she is. Yeah.
You can simply, the other team will just have to go Moira, and Moira can heal more than she can put out damage. So if some teams just spam
That
the
is
game
true.
as Moira, you can out heal a damaging Moira with a healing Moira. So
That
it's
is
not
true.
overpowered.
That is true.
The
My
overpowered character in Mayhem is Roadhog because he doesn't fucking die.
Dude, Roadhog
Yeah,
does not give
I have
any
survived
damage, though.
3 alts
That's a
in
fair
Mayhem
point.
with Roadhog.
Roadhog doesn't give any
Yeah.
damage.
What?
He's annoying because he stays alive, but he doesn't give. Have you ever? I mean, dude, if you're Roadhog, you can't hit shit. Like, if you got a
can
good
hit-
healer, you
he's
can
a-
stay
he's a-
alive the whole
He's a
time.
tank buster. He gets easy picks because all you gotta do is hook someone, shoot him once, and then hit him in the face. The DPS is dead.
Well, you don't even have to shoot him. If you hook somebody else can shoot him
Well,
easily.
no, you can 1v1. It's almost impossible to beat a Roadhog, any other character without a Roadhog. Roadhog can 1v1 almost any other character
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
because he can out heal anybody. His healing's ridiculous because he takes half damage while he does it, and he heals half his health. It's on like a 6-second cooldown. The only thing that can really beat a Roadhog is a Roadhog.
Or
A Roadhog or another tank,
You
maybe.
put a Hanzo in there.
Like a
though,
Diva.
Shit's over.
No.
A lot of high
Well,
damage players.
no,
can kill
no, put a
Roadhog.
Genji in there because a fucking Genji will jump around like a fucking bitch and make sure
But then
that
if you get hooked,
nothing good
but
happens.
Genji can't kill Roadhog.
He can.
Genji can
No.
reflect against Roadhog.
Genji can
Don't
kill
shoot
anybody.
him.
Genji can kill fucking Mother Teresa.
Can't kill
Yeah.
Moira.
Um,
You can't deflect Moira.
Anthony, you got a comment?
Of course.
Hanzo.
You put Hanzo in the ring. Healing or no heal. You just headshot boys all day.
Dude, you haven't even played Hanzo since they reworked him.
He's got the quick shot now.
He doesn't
Even-
have. He doesn't
Yeah,
have
that
scatter.
quick shot is pretty boss.
Storm arrows.
I would go quick shot over scatter. Scatter sucked.
Dude, scatter
quick
was
shot's
fucking
great.
ridiculous.
Quick shot is great.
Stupid. If you got to be accurate to be good with Hanzo. You're not accurate. You just go quick shots.
All right. Garrett, next time.
Next topic. Anthony's done.
What are you talking about? Moira sucks. Hanzo's better. That's my point. Just
Well,
saying.
I'm
Anthony's-
glad.
Anthony
Hanzo is
actually
better than
cares
Moira.
about that action.
Yes, I will agree with you.
I'm all about that. Yeah. Anyway.
Colin, you're
Okay. Well, I am glad that Colin switched it up to gaming because Le'Veon Bell's teammate, which will probably be former teammate after this season, Antonio Brown, was selected to be the Madden 19 cover athlete.
Really? Nice.
And I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, on the NFL's top 100, he was number 2 behind Tom Brady.
number 2, really.
Yep.
And
So he
that's-
was
that-
number 2 behind Jordan Moore? Is that what you're saying?
Jordan Moore is someone who refuses to come on this podcast. So, Jordan Moore, screw you if you're out there. So wait, so
station middle finger, motherfucker.
space station middle finger going right up to the goat and the rest of the scam that's going on up there, including Deflategate
Are we-
and Spygate.
Are we discussing the Madden cover though? Is that our next topic here?
Well,
It's kind
yeah,
of
I mean, let's parlay. I mean, Garrett said so. NFL.com posted a top 100 list that Antonio was number 2 on.
Yep.
That's a reputable source.
Behind Tom Brady.
Antonio Brown being number 2 in the league. Wow.
All right, here's my argument.
All right.
J.J. Watt's not number 1 at this point, considering all of the public services he's performed in the last year.
J.J.
I mean,
Watt's
When's
been
the
eight.
last time he's played 10 games in a row?
Exactly. He's
that's
been-
not relevant.
It
the
is.
fact-
How is
Very
someone
relevant.
going to play on
It's
the
not.
Ability
The
isn't
dude
relevant.
fucking saved Houston single-handedly, according to reports. So how is he not number 1 at this
He
point?
saved them fiscally. He didn't save them physically.
Did you say he saved them facially? That's disgusting. You're fucking disgusting.
Take those shades off, Slim, and maybe take them earbuds out and really listen to what I'm saying.
Oh my God, that's what he looks like.
I feel like
Hold on. Just
speaking when you take your
listen to
headphones
what a guy's saying. All right. So, Watt, JJ. I mean, Watt. He's a good player.
JJ
all right?
Power.
But there is a lot of teams in this league that have won without having
No.
almost any defense.
You are correct.
And,
No,
Live near
I-
one.
and
you are correct.
you got a solid quarterback. You're in that bitch every year. I mean, look at the Indianapolis Colts. Look
You are
at
correct.
the New England Patriots.
The only thing
You know
is,
what I'm
I'm
saying?
amazed because J.J. Watt is in headlines so often. I'm amazed he doesn't rise to the top of lists like that more often.
He does
That's
have
the
a
only
very
thing.
hot soccer girlfriend. I'll give him that.
I'm not aware of that, so I don't. I
Oh,
don't
so
go
he's at the top of the
images
headlines
very
all the
often.
time, but you ain't seen the
So.
hot soccer girlfriend?
What is wrong?
Jesus, Garrett.
Back to the topic at hand, though. Everybody, what's your comment on it? Antonio Brown, cover Madden, number 2 in the league. Colin, what's your opinion?
Fantastic fantasy person.
Wait, better than Le'Veon.
I mean-
You said that you would draft Le'Veon number 1.
Yeah. Whose
Yeah.
balls or do you
I
want to
draft
be on?
Antonio
Okay.
number 2, for sure.
Pick a pair.
Wait, did you say
And
whose
jump on
balls do I want? Brandon Cooks.
I was hoping that somehow you would bring a female.
I'm sorry, there's no female NFL players currently, so
I mean,
No,
I
I-
was hoping that
I
you
would
just
I would
bring up a
draft
female
Le'Veon
with
before I
balls,
draft
mean,
Antonio Brown, but Antonio Brown's a
18, you can find it.
fantastic wide receiver. Absolutely.
he is. He's incredible.
What Madden is this? What year?
19.
I
19.
haven't played Madden.
It's
a
like
while.
it's like cars. Like it's always dated a year ahead of when it actually
do.
is.
I have not gone on into Madden in a couple of years. It's been a couple of years since I've done.
Nah,
Dude, I
only
hadn't
Madden.
played it in like 6 years until last year.
I was gonna say the
And
last
year's
Madden I
was
had
cool.
was like a couple years into the Xbox 360.
Ooh,
Dude, last year's
man,
Madden, last
you're
year's
getting
Madden
way
was
back.
good. The like Madden challenges and shit. I played it. It was decent.
I just want to play as Jordan Moore, the trainer. Water.
Watch out for all the
Water?
semen that's going to be on your face.
No, I don't do podcasts. But water.
Water. Get some water out there, you jerk off. That's a direct quote from Belichick. If we ever convince Jordan to be on the podcast, he will confirm. Anyway, Garrett, what else do we got? There's got to be something other than gaming.
Oh, there is, as a matter of fact. It's just something I forgot and now thought of. That does not have to do with the topic. It has to do with a story that was promised for the podcast.
Hold on, can we,
There we
let's
go.
save it for the finale?
That's
Come
the
on.
finale story?
Yeah, everybody
I
stick
agree.
around for the finale.
All right. Stick around for the finale.
All right,
It's
I have
gonna be
another
sports
story.
related though.
It's going to be
I'll
kind
tell
of
a
a little bit of
story.
everything related.
A story was promised, so I'll tell a story. Here we go. Let's go.
All right, yes.
4th of July, National Drunk Holiday. So
I thought that was St.
I went-
Patty's Day.
I thought that was Cinco de Mayo.
that's racist, bro.
I thought that was my birthday.
So I went home for the 4th. We started at like 9 a.m.
Hold
I
on,
had,
Colin. I'm sorry. Pee break. I gotta pee so bad.
Dude, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Are you for real?
Dead serious. We're gonna come right back, and Colin is gonna tell you the story of a lifetime.
Dead serious?
Lick my anus.
I gotta take it down.
I'm 100% serious. I'm about to pee my pants. I can't.
Don't fucking piss. Jeez.
Everybody, great minds drink alike.
What's up?
What's up?
We are collabing with RaisCL.com. That's Raise, R as in
Ray.
A as in analyze, Y as in
Yes.
S as in
Slut!
C as in cantankerous, L as in
I don't want to do this whole word.
What's the word?
Collaborate and listen.
Y'all about to get back and
Raise CL and GMDA back with a brand new invention. Something
No.
grabs a hold of you tightly. T-shirts and sweaters daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and raise a glow. Realize all your success in a tantrum. And I'll be GMDA on this. Go to RaisCL.com. Do it right now. Get your T-shirts. We're giving out coupons.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Do we have-
Do it.
Do we have the coupon?
Hey.
Do it.
No coupon, but we got them for you.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it. Do it.
Realize all your success.
Do it.
Just!
Over to Colin Likas
With the word
for
from
a
our
plug
sponsors.
for Bushmills.
This episode of the Great Minds Drink Alike podcast is brought to you by Bushmills. Holy shit, yo, fuck everybody once you drink this. Let's go!
Hey, Skype this.
Lord. I'll give that man an A++. So welcome back. We just had a nice pee break, and that was a good ass plug. A good ass plug for Bushmills right there. Where'd we leave off?
His story, 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July.
4th of July.
All right, my story. I have to live up to something now. So I went home for the 4th of July. I will say the neighborhood I grew up in is very, like, the 4th of July is more important than Christmas, honestly. It's extremely important. Not so much from an America perspective, but more so from a I want to get drunk perspective.
Blow
Which
shit up,
is
alcohol. Yeah, I get it.
Aren't those one and the same?
Aren't they? That's pretty American.
Yes. So I started at like 9 a.m. I get to
That's
drink at
late.
9 to noon. I got some mimosas. I've got a couple of Coors Lights.
We know you do.
So I move on to driving a golf cart in our local parade, during which they had no problem with me chugging Coors Lights, which I appreciate.
It was Coors Light. You're fine.
I mean, so I got done at 1. We go over to somebody's house and we play kickball, but on slip and slides.
Okay.
So basically,
I played
the base
It's very fun.
paths are slip and slides. So if you're trying to run from home to first, you're going to have to run down a slip and slide, which means something bad might happen. So my first at bat, I kicked the ball. It's
To the
a
catcher.
decent low kick. No, not the catcher. I kicked it out of the outfield. But I was running to first, and then I immediately fucking had my foot come out from under me, and I smacked my head on the ground. So I pretty much died.
Now, was this the back of your head too?
Yeah, back of the head. So I was out.
Knocked
I
out,
took-
huh?
No, not knocked out. I
Oh,
took
that's not
maybe
fun.
one more at bat.
You were
And
literally out.
Did you
No, I
get the
wasn't
concussion protocol?
no, hell no. I didn't go.
Did you like fall and then continue to slide to first?
So what I'm picturing is you slipped, hit your head, knocked yourself out, and then they tagged you out. So you were just double out.
Yes.
Damn.
correct.
Oh
exactly
no!
Actually, earlier on, there were a lot of little kids playing, and there was one little kid who kicked the ball, and this adult who clearly was either the father or related to this kid fucking chucked the ball right in this kid's face and knocked her off her feet. Like,
Knocked
just
her
fucking
off.
blew her off her feet.
Now was this
It
a
was the
work
most-
I
event
just
you were
pictured like she
covering,
was
or what?
still running, but like
Oh, yeah, she
she's
was.
sideways, like her legs are still moving, but she got hit so hard that like
Yep.
No,
I was
no,
horrified
no,
when
no,
I
no,
saw it.
no,
I was
no.
just like,
No.
excuse me?
where's the noise, Garrett?
Too late.
Too late.
Too late.
So we got through that. So we made it through that. It was like, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock. We go home for a brief respite, and then I go over to somebody else's place for fireworks later. So if the fireworks had gone off without a hitch, this wouldn't be a story. However, a thunderstorm rolled in right when the fireworks were going to start. So the fireworks had to be delayed by, I think, an hour and a half. They were delayed by a long time. So I'm just like, fuck this. I go inside somebody's house and I say, who wants to do some shots of Maker's Mark?
Me?
So I took a couple shots of Maker's Mark. And then the next 3 hours or so, I don't remember what happened.
What happened?
According to reports, while people...
Wait, now were you reporting? Was Drunky reporting on
I
you?
wasn't reporting. No, I wasn't reporting.
That's
Other
not
people.
Yes.
According to
That's
reports,
hearsay.
while other people were trying to launch fireworks in the backyard, I was literally standing over them. challenging- I was like, is that the best you got? That's what I was told that I was doing to the fireworks.
You were
And,
talking fireworks on 4th of July.
Fuck these
Basically-
explosives! I got it.
My dad dragged me home at midnight, not a moment too soon, because the other guys I was going to hang out with got pulled over by the cops in our community because one of them was taking pulls of a Maker's Mark bottle. So,
And you had that started. This is
and
your
I
fault.
started everything.
Was
So
that
you
your
know what?
bottle?
Colin, they might use this video in their trial.
Oh.
Evidence.
Oh, there was no trial. They let him go with the Maker's Mark bottle. They let him leave.
And they say, we know Colin. And then the
They
cop
know
was
me.
like, of course. You know,
Who doesn't know
You know,
me?
the
Come on.
newspaper reporter.
Who doesn't know
He
me?
does high
Let's go.
school articles. It's kind of a big
You
deal.
know, lick ass? Go ahead. Get on your way.
Come on, lick ass.
I'm just kidding.
Actually, well, Colin, that was
That was a great story.
impressive. Yeah.
But what about...
Round of applause.
Round of applause. And that's leading into the
I
next
got a
story.
thump. I
We're,
got a
we're
thump.
not we're not quite ready for the finale. Come on, Anthony.
All right.
One more news story.
One more news story, and then we're ready for that.
Garrett, make it a good one.
What do we got? What do
Actually,
we got?
we had a bunch of science stories. Let's do 2.
2 science stories.
That's it.
All right.
Guys, Anthony's ready to kick us out right now because it's getting late. Because
No, it's not. It's
he
not that
screwed it
late. No, what?
Anthony
Hold
has
on.
messed up the last 4 recordings.
yeah,
Are you serious?
it's just like last week.
Yes.
Like we were dancing. yes.
Look.
You
not
see Colin
kicking
dancing,
anybody.
that is
I'm not kicking
confirmation.
anybody. I'm all in. I'm all in. But I do have to be up at 6. So.
Oh,
That bottle was full when we started recording.
it was.
Show us the Bushmills again, Colin. It's now down to half. Colin, round of applause. Jeez.
We started this at 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh, thanks, Garrett. I appreciate that.
All right, Garrett. What do we got? Couple science stories.
Give us something really, really interesting.
Donald Trump hates science.
Dude, make it so interesting,
Like, I
bro.
want to hear about the stars and stuff.
I want to hear about
Like,
space.
literally space station.
Here, I got a fucking story. Hold on. All right, so I won't announce this guy's name, even though he submitted this as a letter to the editor to our paper, which means he intended for it to be read by the public.
Is this a
Long
space
story short, this guy believes Donald Trump has a Tesla death ray that will cause non-American countries to fear attacking us for fear of reprisal by the death ray.
Yes.
That was the letter.
And how much
I mean,
aluminum foil was on this guy's head
When he submitted the paper.
whenever he
The
said
thing was, he sent in 2 letters. That was one. The other one was about coal usage,
the other
which was
one
actually
gave
a
his
lot
scientific
more.
basis for believing so.
The other one was about coal usage, which is a lot more normal by comparison. But I don't know.
Now,
I'm
what
worried.
would be amazing to me tonight is if Garrett's story is, or the producer's story over there that he's about to pull up is exactly that story about the Tesla or the Trump ray.
Tesla death Trumpler.
Tesla death ray.
The Tesla
All right, Garrett.
death ray. Please tell me you have
I'm
that
just
story.
saying, it's coming.
Garrett, what do we got?
In other news, Tesla death rays.
Executive producer.
What do you
What do
got?
we got?
He's like, I don't
Garrett Yikesties Norcross. everybody.
Internet's down.
There's this one story
Hey,
on a website called astronomy.com, and
Oh.
it talks about how there may have been life on the moon a long time ago.
well, like on the
hold on, I
dark
saw
side of the
this.
moon where the
Like
water
how
is-
long? Like
I saw this.
15 minutes?
No, I'll give the synopsis. So, most scientists believe that the Earth was once part of the. The moon was a part of the Earth.
Well, no,
I'm
the
sorry.
asteroid hit and the Earth floated away, and now the moon's still there. We're just a big chunk of the moon that got blown
The Earth
away.
got hit
yeah,
really
yeah,
hard.
that's it. But anyway, the
God,
the
the
moon-
Earth sucks.
well,
What a shitty
another
planet.
another interesting tidbit. When the moon initially separated, the Earth day was about 16 hours long, but it is slowly moving at about an inch a year away, and we're now at 24 hours a day, and it will.
Sounds like my prom night.
It'll slowly get longer. Hey!
Until the
Days.
death ray
Hello.
comes.
So we'll be working longer.
No, but the basis of this article basically says that about 500 million years ago, the moon still had enough volcanic activity to put water into its atmosphere, and that it had enough water and it had enough atmosphere at that time that it's plausible that there could have been life on the moon.
Like what kind of life?
Or
Like
not.
fish? Like dogs? Cat?
They
what
don't
do we
know.
got?
We're not talking like
Fungi?
an organism. We're talking like
Bacteria.
single cell type shit.
Okay.
This is
okay.
bullshit. According to Austin Powers 2, there was no life on the moon. That's bullshit. I want some fucking confirmation about this.
All right, look at those melons.
No, but I saw that article about like on the dark side of the moon, like there's like a spark. I don't remember exactly what it said, but there's like actual proof or some sort of evidence that showed that there was like water molecules or something like that. I did see that.
Ice. It's got to be liquid for some life, though.
Ice.
All right, Garrett.
Did you say nice or ice?
Nice ice.
baby.
Nice ice, baby.
Saying nice ice baby.
Garrett, what else do we got?
Wait, that's what the song is, isn't it? Anyway,
No, you said.
I wanted to, before we could get another news story, I wanted to play this little audio clip real quick of the sound of Sadden.
Sadden?
Man.
Sadden.
fucking that's sad.
Are you
Sad
sure you
is-
didn't just say Saddam? Is that Saddam?
How did you get an audio clip of him?
Oh, Saddam. Oh, dude, what was the name of the guy that they put stuff up his butt after they killed him?
Saddam Hussein.
No, that wasn't
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi.
Colin Likas.
Gaddafi. After Bushmills killed Colin Likas, local high schoolers stuffed batons up his ass.
Terrible coverage.
All right. Anyway, so
Minus
Garrett,
5
what do
stars.
we got? We got Saddam doing what?
Saturn and like radio missions of the planet and its moon.
Like
Enceladus.
Enceladus?
Enceladus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do have audio or
So,
audio.
So hold on, I'll give. So they can record radio emissions, which is actually a recording of light. All right.
I thought you were talking about it was like plasma back.
Well, I think
back and
plasma produces
That's
the
crazy.
radio wave.
What's
but
it sound like?
no, hold on.
Okay.
It's they convert it.
All right.
They convert it into a like hearable sound wave.
All right, let me
So
hear it.
this isn't like them recording a sound in space. It's them recording sound waves and then converting it to like hearable sound. But Garrett will play it for us.
Please play Whitney Houston. And
It's fucking trippy, dude.
that's what I imagine space sounds like.
That's
I feel
what I
like there's
imagine
about to
Pink
be a
Floyd
beat drop
sounds
here
like if they
soon.
took
I
even
know
more
how
drugs
space
than they had
sounds, but
before.
when I was a kid, I thought,
Get ready to drop the beat. Let's go.
Hey, aliens.
And
They're my friend.
I will always love you. That's what that is.
All right. We're good here. That dude, that's actually pretty trippy though. Like if you think about it.
Now,
I mean, they're literally recording like. You sound
Plasma.
uninterested.
In the space. I know, I'm very interested.
Plasma in the space.
I was listening. I'm interested. That was really interesting.
All right, Garrett. That was.
I'm
cool.
interested in Uranus. Let's see how big that is.
Can we hear what Uranus sounds like?
Dude, Garrett, can we bring up?
Hear what
the
you're-
sounds
I want to
of-
see how
Can we
big
bring up the
the
sounds
width
of Uranus, Garrett?
I don't endorse this.
Hold on, I want to see how big Uranus is in width. Let's figure this out.
It looks bigger if you take them cheap ass shades off.
Oh,
Dude,
shots
shut the
fired.
fuck up.
Snap. Oh, snap. Yo, all
All
right.
right, Garrett. One more article, and then we got a nice story to finish
Oh,
up.
I love it. 2 articles turns to 3.
I wanted to talk about.
All right, just so y'all know, the mean anomaly of Uranus is 142.238.600. All right, let's move.
What was that?
6 and 9.
Hey! Oh, snap.
Bushmills. That's Bush League, bro.
Bush League. Bushmills.
Excuse you.
On another planet, Mars. What is it?
Mars.
What's like the nickname of it? Dust planet or something like that.
The
The
big
red planet?
pussy.
Red planet. That's what I said. There is a dust storm currently happening basically all over the planet, like everywhere, and you can see it from like satellite images. And it's pretty cool.
Hold on, Garrett. Would you like to see my great red spot?
You might need a colonoscopy.
This is how you transition into a story about passing out in certain places.
But it
I
was
love
talking.
how Mars can do that for you.
But I was reading this article and it was talking about how there's a possibility of it destroying a rover that we have on Mars, which would be
Red Rover?
Is it Curiosity?
I'm curious.
The other one,
the
Endeavour.
Opportunity rover.
God, I hope Red Rover doesn't die.
I thought
He was a nice lady.
So, is Curiosity the one that
sent it
died?
right over.
There was 2 rovers. One's already
No,
dead.
Curiosity
Curiosity-
didn't die. He
Yes,
just killed the cat.
Yeah, he was killed by the cat.
Cat being.
Mars sounds like a gangster ass planet. Everything just dying. Mars, Curiosity, Red Rover.
But you can also Mars is also like the brightest it's been in 15 years, which is also pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's your whole lifetime.
Almost.
You got any chest hairs yet?
Here, hold on.
You can borrow some of his.
Colin, if you don't retweet this
Here's
on
a
your
landing strip.
professional Twitter. Dude, did you run the rest of that hair off?
With no music.
I know. I know it wasn't from them headphones running on that ass.
Excuse you. That's inappropriate.
Those hair follicles were overstimulated.
Bush flower.
By
I
now-
have a knife.
Oh,
me.
Don't do it. Don't do
oh,
it.
calm it down.
Don't
Shave
do
your
it.
chest. Shave
Don't
your
do it,
chest.
blood
Shave
bath.
your chest.
He's gonna cut that bush like butter.
Don't do it.
Ah,
I ain't gonna do
All right, let's wrap this
Talking
thing
about
up. It's
cutting
getting
bush.
weird.
Let's get to the finale
all
story.
right. So is it time,
It's time.
It's
Anthony?
time.
If you'd like to, introduce it. Then
All right, let me go ahead and introduce this by telling you, Gavin has an amazing birthday tale that he'd like to share with all of you listeners out there.
And
Now
Gavin's-
sit back, listen up, crack a beer, and shut the fuck up.
All right.
Gavin, take it away.
All right. That was wow.
Aggressive.
That was an overdone
it.
intro.
No, that was perfect.
That was solid. Anyway, so my birthday was on Sunday. Shout out to me,
Happy birthday.
turning the
We
old ass
Happy
age of-
34th birthday.
Thanks. Old ass age
24?
of 26.
You're old.
No, 34.
34, that's more like it.
So anyway,
Mars years.
was going to the Cincinnati Reds game with my girlfriend Carly and her wonderful parents, Rick and Terry. Shout out to them.
Shout out to Carl's Jr.
her-
Great restaurant.
Her
Me-
great
me and
uncle,
Hardee's.
her great uncle John Amberger also went. He's a very large 70-year-old farmer. You know, I'm not gonna speculate on John's weight, but he's a large man. He's probably like 6'4", and you know, he's hefty.
Does the current
All right.
term corn-fed come to mind?
Oh, absolutely. Corn grown.
You can put away the beer.
So anyway, we start off at the Knights of Columbus in Batesville, and my tummy, my Timmy Tom,
Little tum-tum.
my tum had been a little bit sore for a couple of days.
Taco Bell.
The Timmy Tom wasn't feeling so good. All right, so
So you had to make a poop poop.
so I had to make a poo poo,
I
and
don't
I had
know.
I had
You
to
had made a boo-boo.
I made a poo-poo, and I had to take a doo-doo. You know what I'm saying? So, Knights of Columbus, we got about 10 minutes before the bus leaves. I go in the bathroom.
There's never enough time.
Take a squat, and, you know, Carly comes in about 10 minutes later and is opening the door because I'm the last one in the whole effing building. And
She
says,
says, I
Gavin,
want
get
to
the
fuck.
hell out here.
Pinch that
The
up.
bus is leaving. I'm like, the bus is leaving. She's like, the bus is leaving. So I'm like, all right. So, you know, I pinch off the loaf and I get on the bus. And what do you know? I'm sitting next to Uncle John. Now, I know of Uncle John. I've seen Uncle John several times. But this would be the first time that we've been in such an intimate setting as two large grown men sitting next to each other in a crammed bus seat.
Right.
So we get free drinks on the way down. It's part of our $45 ticket through the Knights of Columbus. And
It's only fair.
we were both drinking some Coors Light. We both drink about 3 in about an hour span. So
It's fair.
Uncle
It's
John
fair.
and I, we're about 3 deep. He's the beer drinking champ, large man. He's renowned in Batesville, which is a beer drinking place, as the best beer drinker. So if you're the best of the best, you know what that means.
You're the
But
best.
we get there. We go across the street to a bar called Holy Grail, across the street from Great American Ballpark. I drink about 4 more Coors Lights, bought for me for my birthday. All right.
you up
Actually,
to now?
to tell the full story, I also take another shit at this bar.
You're on your second shit?
Yeah.
How many beers in?
God damn it.
At this point, I'm about 7. At the point of the shit, I was probably 4 or 5.
Now these beer shits or tum tum shits.
Yes.
Little
So then we take a jaunt on over to Great American. And Uncle John and I, we find a better spot than the seats we bought to sit. So we're not even sitting with the rest of the group. It's just me and Uncle John.
Peasants.
And we're drinking 24 ounces. We're trading off buying. And long story short, we both had about 4 24 ounces in at this point. It's probably about the 7th inning. So at this point, I've had circa 15 mofo beers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of brews.
Sounds like a Wednesday.
And what do you know? What do you know? The dude's got to take yet another shit. All right. So
Tum Tum hurts.
the Timmy Tums is
Little
leading me up
tum-tum.
to the bathroom, and I go to the install and lock the door, and I kind of lean against the wall and close my eyes.
Now-
and I'm thinking to myself, get it together, O'Gara. Uncle John ain't going to outdo you on your 26th birthday.
How drunk
question
were you?
for you.
But he is.
What inning was this when he went?
Probably about the 7th.
And how drunk were you?
7th inning. So right before
How drunk was I? All the drunk.
Did you go during? Did you go before or during the stretch then?
He
It was
was
post-stretch. I recall the stretch.
Okay, you.
It
recall
was
the stretch.
post-stretch.
All right.
So
He wasn't stretched. They
I
brought him
go
up
in,
top.
I'm
Fucking
leaning
shit
against
all
the
over
wall.
the place.
Oh, so the stretch is going on in the stall right now. I'm leaning back. I'm like, oh gosh, get it together, Garrett. Uncle John will not outdrink you on your 26th birthday.
You got this.
So then, I lay my toilet paper down because only a fucking barbarian sits on the toilet seat.
That
without
is true.
laying Toilet paper first.
He still had his senses about him.
So
That
then
is
I sit on the
surprising.
toilet, and at this point, it's like, wow. Somehow, this plastic ass toilet seat feels comfortable as shit. So before you know it, I take about a 45-degree angle to my left, and I lay my head on that cement. Before you know it, that cement is feeling comfortable on the facie. Like,
What about the semen?
I'm laying at a 45. I'm sitting sideways, pants down, in Great American Ballpark.
Sideways.
And I can't tell you exactly what happened right after that because your
was
boy
roofied.
went into a nice
Your boy went into a coma.
slumber.
He passed out taking a dunk.
Now recall, I would like everyone to recall before I continue that I've already held up the bus once, right? So I'm falling asleep right after the
In what
7th inning stretch.
7th inning stretch.
Yeah. So now I wake up to a giant bang on the door. And I'm like,
God, that was a giant
What?
bang.
There you go.
now that was a Bushmills bang right there.
There you go.
So now I'm waking up like, oh my God, what's going on? And Rick Paul, Carly's dad, someone who I didn't want to disappoint, was like, Gavin, what the hell are you doing in there? I'm like, I'm almost finished up. He's like, you've been in there for an hour. I'm like, don't worry, I'm coming right out. To which Rick Paul says, well, hurry it up. The bus is going to leave. And I say, again?
Yeah, it's the second time.
So, this twice in one day, my birthday, mind you, I was told that
Didn't
that the bus was going to leave my ass because I had to pop a squat.
did you get the chicken dinner at the end?
Fuck yeah, I got that chicken dinner.
Fuck,
Are you
better
kidding
have
me?
gotten it?
Dude, I did not. I had free beers on the way home. Didn't drink a single beer. Had to.
Not a
had
thing
to.
in his body.
Did you still have to
He
hold in the
spent an
food?
hour on the toilet.
Did you poop when you got back before the chicken dinner?
I actually did.
Oh God.
I actually did.
That's
Um,
terrible.
So you're no longer full of shit then, huh?
Yeah, you were full of shit for a while.
Dude,
That's
my-
a long time to be full of
My
shit.
colon is still swollen, but it's
Swollen.
clear as a tear.
You almost got there.
Yeah, that was.
All right.
Hold on, Garrett. I would like to bring it back to you. Joey is not here today, but
Clear
his-
as the humans
you,
of Carbonia.
You
There you
start.
go.
Actually, would you rather Colin do it? The Joeyism? You would? All right, so
Oh.
Joey Garcia is not here with us today, Colin, and Garrett, our executive producer, him running the show, he has passed it on to you.
Okay.
Joey's.
What is our Joeyism for the day?
I need an idea of what the other Joeyisms have been.
They're a little bit of
Joeyisms-
everything. Do not worry.
It's
Say
it's
what
just a
comes to
little
mind.
saying. It's kind of like a quip or a sentence that either is super appropriate for the show
It can
or something
motivate,
that you want to say.
intimidate.
Yeah, it can
Just-
motivate, intimidate, exacerbate, whatever you want it.
Masturbate.
Yeah, whatever you want it to do.
Discombobulate.
But it's a short statement
Take
that
her
is
out
the
on a date.
Joeyism.
All right. All right, hold on. If you, oh man, I've been put in the spot. This is real good. I like this.
Take a
I
swig,
like
take a
this.
swig
I
of
like
thing.
this.
All right.
You're a reporter. You got
all right.
this.
You got this.
Just pretend
I
you're
will-
writing it.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And
That's a
that's
good
the
point.
way the cookie crumbles. Something like that.
Something like that.
If-
but
No, it's better than that.
Better.
That fucking
If you
sucks.
shit on your balls, don't come home tonight. There you go.
All right,
Got
we'll
the
take
crusty
it.
balls. Got the crusty.
Oh God.
All right.
There you go.
If you guys were curious what mine was, if you knew you were going to go out drinking with the best, better do a pregame, don't.
I like
I
it.
did. I did a
That's a
pregame,
true story.
during game again, and post game.
If you're drinking with the best, poop like the rest.
There you go. That's a good one. There.
I think if you're drinking with the best, you say it with
Garrett's
your
is a true
chest.
story.
I think
Garrett's
if you're
is
drinking like
totally
the rest, you poop like the best.
If you're drinking with the best, it's going to be a test, and you better say it with your chest.
Or it's going to come out and it's going to contest.
All over your mom's.
So
desk.
that's the episode.
Garrett, what's our outro music for the day?
Because if you poop on your balls,
Yeah,
don't come
yeah.
home tonight.
The party in the USA.
Oh, shit.
shit.
Guys, join us next week for GMDA episode 6. We're out.
It's a
Goodbye.
chicks. Something about
I've loved
dicks.
you all.
Oh,
but I'm
yeah.
too drunk to
Take
take-
stick. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Get on toe to toe, yo. Yo, let's go.
Shitty balls.
Shitty balls.
Drop down my balls.